keeping you
Vote 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Welcome to your news at noon. These are the top stories we're tracking. Exxon decides when and how much oil money Guyana gets. Sanzillo says country in need of corrective action plan. High-level Surinamese team set to arrive today. Guyana finally put locals to monitor oil production, and man uses sister to trap alleged fraudster. Meanwhile, mechanic crashes motorcycle and dies while evading police. And government pumps $356 million more into cash-strapped Kaieteur Contracts Inc. for other agri-ministry projects. Stay tuned to stay informed.
I'm in a rush. Digicel got me in a rush. Driving style for the summer. Digicel Summer Rush.
Nobody's doing it big like Digicel this summer. Top up with $1,000 or more and collect the letters to spell the word RUSH for a chance to win one of 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs. Yes, you heard it right. 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs.
Driving style for the summer. Hey, Digicel Summer Rush.
Start topping up now.
And now for the news in detail. The production sharing agreement that was signed in 2016 between the Guyana government and ESSO has since seen the country ceding control over how much revenue it will receive and over the scope and pace of future development. These are among the findings of the Institute of Energy Economics and Financial Analysis Director Tom Sanzillo, who in a recent report noted that the lack of a ring-fencing provision substantially slows the pace of revenue that will flow to Guyana and that there is need for a corrective action plan that is more equitable, that would serve the interests of both parties in the long run. He noted in his report that the lack of a ring-fencing provision could be considered a legitimate incentive to encourage the contractor to continue exploration efforts, even while it drills and produces oil at existing fields. Governments, he noted, typically utilize ring-fencing provisions to prevent oil companies from using losses incurred on one site from sheltering the profits from other, more lucrative investments. And moving on, several Ministry of Agriculture agencies yesterday signed off on a total of $474 million in contracts. The majority of the total sum represents 3 contracts for cash-strapped Kaieteur. The 3 contracts that were signed are for the supply and delivery of 9 long-reach track-type hydraulic excavators, 1 short-reach track-type hydraulic excavator, and 1 short-reach wheel-type hydraulic excavator. The contracts for the supply and delivery of the machineries to the tune of $356,500,000 were awarded to Guytrack. The excavators, according to information released by the ministry, are required for the rehabilitation of the drainage and irrigation channels at all estates, including the ones passing through residential communities. It also includes the rebuilding of the surrounding perimeter dam of the Albion estates. And moving on, local telecommunications and internet service provider eNetworks Inc. has been given the green light to land and install a fiber optic cable from Suriname to Guyana. This is in addition to receiving permission from government for the use of additional domestic frequencies. The decision to amend the company's license was made with effect August 12th last. According to the notice published in the Official Gazette, the license has been amended to grant permission to E-Networks, Inc. to land, install, and operate a fiber optic submarine cable in accordance with Section 23(9)(a) of the Telecommunications Act. The said fiber optic submarine cable will connect Guyana to Suriname for the provision of redundant connectivity Guyana. And moving on, as a high-level delegation headed by Suriname's President Tandrika Prasad Santokhi is set to arrive in Ghana today for a state visit, President Irfaan Ali has indicated that some key areas of focus include oil and gas, infrastructure, agriculture, among other critical sectors. President Ali told the press on the sidelines of an event on Monday that President Santokhi's visit is a very important one, as he reminded that Guyana and Suriname have committed to various transformational initiatives. Notably, this official visit follows President Ali's visit to the Republic of Suriname in November of 2020, during which the two presidents launched the Guyana-Suriname Strategic Dialogue and Cooperative Platform. Last year, shortly after the inauguration of President Ali, Guyana and Suriname established a working committee that is tasked with finding solutions to stimulate economic growth. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is your news at noon. We will return after the break.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. Guyana as a nation is finally putting locals in place to monitor oil production from the Liza Destiny oil vessel in the Stopper Block. At least this is according to the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, the National Meteorology Institution with legislative responsibilities for ensuring the accuracy of weighing and measuring devices in all sectors of the economy. According to GNBS, there are currently 9 inspectors in its oil and gas department, and this number will increase as the FPSO vessels offshore are added to meet the demand for oil production. According to GNBS, inspectors in this department are responsible for monitoring the custody transfer of Guyana's crude from the oil vessel offshore. GNBS added that inspectors are tasked with ensuring the measuring instruments used in the transfer and testing of the crude are calibrated and accurate, since inaccurate measurements can affect payments for the commodity. And sad news coming as a 20-year-old mechanic died yesterday, hours after he crashed the 150cc G8 motorcycle, which he was riding along a road in La Parfait Harmony on the west bank of Demerara. At the time, he was reportedly trying to evade a police patrol. According to a police report, the mechanic, Mahendra Diopal of Parfait Harmony, lost control when he tried to maneuver some potholes around 23 hours 45 on Sunday night. Police reported that they were conducting a routine patrol in a pickup when they spotted a man riding west along the northern side of the road without a safety helmet. They had reportedly attempted to stop him, but he rode away, causing them to give chase. The chase ended abruptly after Diopal fell into the potholes and lost control of the motorcycle. As a result, he fell onto the road and sustained injuries to his body and face. And in other news, an alleged fraudster found herself before the Georgetown Magistrates Courts yesterday facing 2 charges after one of her victims used his sister to trap her. Charged by Principal Magistrate Shirley Isaacs Marcus with attempting to obtaining money by false pretense is 26-year-old Natoya Cotton of Crane, West Coast, Demerara. Cotton pleaded not guilty to both charges and was released on $100,000 bail for each charge. She is expected to return to court on August 30th. The court heard that on July 7th, Cotton had alleged attempted to obtain $650,000 from Nazima Nazir by pretending to sell her a car. Nazir somehow did not fall prey to Cotton's ploy, but this did not stop the defendant from trying again. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. And now it's telling residents of Matthews Ridge Region 1 have taken to the streets in protest against the Guyanese Manganese Inc., or GMI, a subsidiary of the Chinese-owned Bosai Minerals Group. GMI had purchased 4 prospecting licenses from Reunion Manganese Inc., a Canadian company that covers a total area of 45,729 acres in 2016. Guyana has substantial manganese deposits, and it is estimated that there are some 26 million tons of the mineral at Matthews Ridge site. When officials of GMI had proposed the project in Matthews Ridge and conducted prospecting studies, following which they were granted the necessary license and permits to begin extracting the ore, they had promised between 300 and 500 jobs for the local population. But residents are saying that this has not happened. According to one former employee of GMI who spoke under the condition of anonymity, there are not even 100 local workers at the mine and possibly closer to 200 foreign Chinese nationals. And it is time we now head over to the COVID-19 update. The Ministry of Health yesterday announced that 4 more persons who tested positive for COVID-19 have died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 578. Further, the ministry, via its COVID-19 dashboard, yesterday reported that within the last 24 hours, there were 14 new infections, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 23,575. Presently, there are 16 patients in the COVID-19 ICU, 87 in institutional isolation, 895 in home isolation, and 4 in institutional quarantine. To date, a total of 21,999 persons have recovered from the virus. Just before we wrap things up, it's time for the page 7 of the Kaieteur News dedicated to being blunt. The coalition opposition has lost its head, can't find its feet. Of all the issues it could pick on to take a stand, the coalition decides it will be against mandatory vaccines. This is backwards and feeble because many coalition members and supporters have already taken the vaccine. When the coalition takes a stand like this with vaccines, then it is sure to find that a lot of its own support base would not stand with it. The coalition should pick something that has national support and traction. We highly recommend oil. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today